Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
This was a barnstorming speech by Barack Obama. John, I mean, he doesn't give bad convention, but this one really electrified the arena. His message, he seems to be almost personally offended by the dystopian vision that Donald Trump has articulated, and he wanted to wrest that back. He talked repeatedly of American values, what he thought they were: optimism, courage. And on the floor, it went down very well. I was standing next to a young Hispanic woman who was thrilled when the vice presidential nominee, Tim Kaine, started speaking in Spanish. And there was an African-American congresswoman who obviously had a very strong sense that this was a bittersweet moment, farewelling Barack Obama and welcoming Hillary Clinton. But he did his job. He handed the baton to Hillary Clinton with a great deal of gusto. She was met with a really rapturous response when she made a surprise appearance at the end of the night.
Please welcome the 44th President of the United States of America.
He walked out to a forest of blue. Delegates held his name aloft, thrilled by the arrival of the man who made history with his election to the White House 8 years ago. This was not only a baton change moment, but an attempt to reset the national psyche, to turn away from fear and embrace a diverse, optimistic America.
Sure, we have real anxieties about paying the bills and protecting our kids. We are shocked and saddened by the madness of Orlando or Nice. But as I've traveled this country, what I have also seen more than anything is what is right with America. Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, young, old, gay, straight, folks with disabilities, all pledging allegiance under the same proud flag to this big, bold country that we love. That's what I see. That's the America I know.
This is full force Barack Obama reclaiming a more positive vision of America, pushing back against Donald Trump and making the case that Hillary Clinton is his natural successor in the White House. But Donald Trump stands in her way.
He's trying to tell us he cares about the middle class. Give me a break. That's a bunch of malarkey.
Vice President Joe Biden began a cavalcade of mockery that passed from speaker to speaker.
I'm a New Yorker, and I know a con when I see one.
We're gonna build a wall and make Mexico pay for it, believe me. We're gonna destroy ISIS so fast, believe me. There's nothing suspicious in my tax returns, believe me.
As for the president, he delivered his most powerful criticism with a velvet glove. Without mentioning Trump's name, he labeled the Republican nominee as great a threat to American values as ISIS.
That's why anyone who threatens our values, whether fascists or communists or jihadists or homegrown demagogues, will always fail in the end.
The America he describes is very different to the America that we've been hearing about from Donald Trump, for example.
It's basically assuming that all Americans are hating of their neighbors, all Americans are scared, all Americans don't want to see us move forward, they want to go back, and that's not true.
Back on stage, making the case for Hillary Clinton, the president ran through her CV, emphasizing her experience as his Secretary of State.
I can say with confidence, there has never been a man or a woman, not me, not Bill, nobody, more qualified than Hillary Clinton to serve as President of the United States of America.
She is politically to his right, but as the president closed out in a big Hollywood moment, the nominee herself appeared stage left. The excitement on the floor matched on stage. Hillary Clinton herself thrilled to stand alongside the most popular Democratic figure in the country.
8 years ago, we all cried. When he took that position, he changed all of our lives. As a black person, that was history. As a mother today, this is double history. Super history.
But history is not made yet.
And this, more than any other recent election, feels like a race that can't be won with optimism alone.
I'm joined now by Mark McKinnon. He's one of America's leading election strategists who worked on the George W. Bush campaign, but has now brilliantly crossed over into TV.
So it's kind of a high noon, OK Corral aspect to all this.
Cat.
Hello, Captain.
Yeah, Cat, look at you.
How are you?
You're looking great.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.
So I'm painting this morning. Yes,
He's currently the host of The Circus, a weekly TV show which looks behind the scenes at this extraordinary election campaign. Mark, thanks for joining us. Let's think about last night, reflect on this very sunny, optimistic speech by Barack Obama. Is there a danger that he turns off the people who are expressing very clearly anxieties and fears and fueling the Trump campaign?
Sure, it's a strategic gamble, but campaigns are always about one or the other. They're about hope or they're about fear. Trump is hoping that people are really afraid. They want a strong, sort of strongman response to domestic violence and international threats. Obama and Clinton are making the bet that the voters are looking for an optimistic vision of the future. I mean, our campaign in 2000 for Bush was all about the future and all about hope. The campaign in 2004 was all about fear. So really, I mean, nobody's quite sure where this election is right now, although we know that it is a circus out there.
I mean, no one seems to have a real sense of how to put a hole in Trump's side at the moment, in the sense that there is talk of him being unreliable, there's the character, but it's not really dealing with the underwhelming anxiety, it's not really dealing with those fears.
Well, the fundamental thing about Donald Trump is that he is tapping into voters who feel disenfranchised, who feel anxious, who feel like they've left part out. And his whole dialogue about the system is rigged. There's so many people out there that feel that, and they feel that Donald Trump is their voice for that. So,
I mean, we saw a lot of mockery on stage last night. I mean, Joe Biden does good mockery, but you know, they seem to just want to ridicule him almost. Is that going to work?
I'm not sure. I think the best strategic framing I've seen for this was one of the Clinton senior advisors we talked to, who said, what we should really do is diminish the man but enhance the threat. So in other words, you know, it's okay to sort of, you know, suggest that on a personal level he's quirky and odd, but make sure that people understand that as a leader there's a real threat.
Let's listen to some of the quirkiness and oddness. This is Donald Trump speaking yesterday about Russia. Let's have a listen.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
So the Democratic response to that was outrage, treachery. And he's now saying, look, I was just being sarcastic.
Well, that's what he always does as soon as he sort of feels like maybe he pushed the line a little bit too far. But his instinct is to communicate a message of power and strength. And the whole thing about Putin is all about power and strength. I'm strong, he's strong, that's why we get along.
Yeah, we've got that in common.
Yeah, we've got that in common, and people, you know, that's what he recognizes, my power and strength, and that's why it's a big deal, and that's why voters should respond, because they know I'm going to be as strong as Putin.
I'm not going to ask you who's going to win the election, but maybe after the first debate we can talk again.
Glad to. Let's hook it up again.
Okay, all right. Cheers. Mark McKinnon, thank you very much. That's all from Philadelphia, but now it's back to you in London.
Kylie Morris in Philadelphia.
I've been getting away